Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center, to the world of magic and miracles, where sometimes your schedule and your body's schedule do not always meet. Sorry for the few-minute delay. It's a misty day here in Santa Barbara County. We're inside, it's a little cool. And yet we'll still be traveling to the outer reaches of the universe, connecting with each and every one of you that's connecting with us here to your origin. For me, this incredible advancement we're experiencing here just grows and expands every time we share our own personal experiences. And each and every one of us has amazing experiences, and they're so unique as we are. After yesterday's broadcast, actually several recently, from Robert speaking of us stepping into the angelic realm, it was so powerful yesterday. And I was sharing with our friends after the broadcast how it just popped in a couple of experiences for me that were recent, where I absolutely felt the angels. I felt the angelic realm. As those of you who have watched in the past, I have a tremendous connection with animals. I always have. Wild, domestic, it doesn't matter. And as I was driving home from work, I was coming home in the middle of the night a couple nights ago, and a deer was crossing my path as I was about to drive into the driveway of the complex where I live. And she stopped for a moment, looked at me. I rolled down my window so she could hear my voice. And I started talking to her just so I didn't want her to be concerned. And I thought it was just she and I. And next thing you know, out from behind a bush comes a baby deer fawn. And it starts to walk toward its mother. And they're not moving. They stop in front of my car. The second one pops out of the bush, comes over. The third one walks out, pops out of the bush. And they're just deciding to hang out in front of me. My headlights are on, and two of the babies look like they're about to start playing together. It was the sweetest moment. And I just felt like Mother received my communication that she was safe, so she could bring her children, her babies, and they'd be safe. And I was just really amazed. They didn't continue walking. They just stood there in front of the car as if it was home. Anyway, it was an experience. It's one of my favorite feelings, being here on this physical planet Earth. Those communications, I've always loved these subtle communications, because obviously we don't share a language. It's a different language. It's subtle. It's very sensitive. It's gentle. And I love it. I remember, wow, I'm just having flashbacks of when I was probably a teenager. I was at someone's house for a party. We're an adult party, and they had, I think it was a Doberman, like a teenager, very shy around all these people. It was my first time at this particular house, and I sat on this bench, and this dog who seemed to be, I'd never met the dog before, and it was just seemed a little afraid of all the activity. It just came right underneath me, under the bench, under my legs, and just sat there. It was another amazingly special moment of my life. It's when a gentle soul, a gentle creature is concerned, and then they sense my presence, and they know they're safe. Oh my goodness. And that just brought me right to where Robert took us yesterday. The safety and comfort of being with your friend, your creator. There's a peace. On the way in here today, as I'm driving, it's such a beautiful drive through the hills, by the ocean, and I'm listening to an audio recording of last Saturday's broadcast by Robert, which was quite profound. And he took us once again, but in a really powerful way, to our creator and described it, but provided the experience through his transmission. And I experienced so much physically as I'm driving, sitting in my car. Physically felt myself shifting, molecules rearranging, whatever's going on. I don't know the details. But this incredible calm came over me. I'm just getting another message. We're all here doing what we're doing. We all have our unique gifts and I heard the word mission. We all have a mission. I don't know where that came from. So what just keeps popping in as I'm sharing these stories, is there was a number of years ago, I was probably in my mid to late 20s. I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was driving home from an event over the hills from Berkeley side over to where I lived at the time in Lafayette. And it was dark. It was late at night. It had been raining. I don't think it was raining then, but the roads were absolutely wet. And I was coming down a hill over the tunnel that connects. And there was a car in front of me, quite a ways in front of me. Anyway, long story short, two teenagers were driving in front of me, and then someone came from the other direction and T-boned her. And because of the slickness of the road, and I was going downhill, I couldn't quite stop in time either, so I became a part of it. It wasn't bad, but my first instinct was to go to the girl in the car in front of me who'd been hit, sideswiped, and I just got in the seat next to her, and I don't know, this calm presence just came over me. It's what what happens to me often. Many times in my younger life, I would be in situations and I would just have this calm come over me, and I would just do the next thing and do the next thing. And it was like, it was so clear the direction I was to go. And there was great precision in it, and it was clear, but it was all in this calm place. So I, was checking on her. She was fine. I think she was more just in shock from what had just happened. The door had been hit and was pushed in towards her, but didn't reach her. So that was a good thing. And I just proceeded to collect the insurance information for everybody and the phone numbers and their names. And then we went on our way. And I remember it must have been the next day, I got a phone call from the girl. And she just wanted to thank me. Sorry. Don't know where that came from. But I've always leaking. I've always had these kinds of experiences as long as I can remember. And this new awareness and new connection with my creator is just bringing in so much. I don't even know what to call it. I was going to use the word information, but it's beyond that. I think, don't think. It feels as if each and every one of us here at the Advancement Center and those who watch with us are entering this most beautiful place. And we're doing it together, and yet we're doing it very much individually. But I'm going to use these words. I was going to say as we're growing in awareness, but it's bigger than that. There are no words. But each and every one is stepping into, wow, I just saw the other thing that Robert brought in, stepping into our relationship with our twin. It was not of this physical world, which is also related to our relationship with our creator. So all this doubt that comes with being here, we come here into the physical from somewhere else. So many of us come from somewhere else. And we forget who we are. And then we remember with some exceptional guidance and support. And it's more than breathtaking. And you will have flashbacks and flash forwards of these moments. The term aha moments, that's not really good enough either, but those moments where you just see a flash and it's like all these connections are made in a fraction of a second. And it just keeps going. And I just have to say the brilliance of what's happening here at the Advancement Center is just so exciting. It's so exciting to not only experience what I'm experiencing, but experiencing every one of us in this amazing, brilliant expansion of life and love and joy and fun, and knowing that there's more is awesome. You reach these heights and you think, oh my gosh. And then there's more and you go, how? How is this possible? And it just keeps going. The moment I met Robert Young in the year 2011, there was that instantaneous recognition. And I just want to take this moment even though it's not necessary, to say thank you. And for those of us that all recognize each other, it's so brilliant. And occasionally I have the moments when someone else, maybe someone close to me, a family member, doesn't have the same recognition. And I guess that must be a human thing that goes, or like a dog. Why not? Why can't you see what I can see? But it's okay. It's not about any of that. It's about this moment, the next moment, the future that we all see so clearly from our own perspectives. That's just a moment ahead of our present that we're creating. And for myself, the future is something that I've always known. The future that I see is what I've always expected. That hasn't been here, but it's coming here. It's here now and is coming. And it's absolutely magic. Without any details, it is magic. And it's not going to stop. And the miracles won't stop. And the fun. So celebrate as we do after each one of these amazing broadcasts. As you celebrate and seal what's been brought this time. And on that note, may you have the most beautiful day, week, life, as I send you a perfect life, perfect health, and a most magic future. Thank you for listening. I am Genya.